You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum, recorded from a secret location in the city that moves mountains.
Greetings.
We come in peace.
Yes, we do. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
I am doing good. Before we move on any further, I want to wish my better half a very happy birthday. She's 41 years old today.
Wow. Happy birthday.
Mrs. Goose is 41 years old.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Goose.
So, tonight, 10 p.m., 104.9 WXLR.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere else with that. I was like, it's Mrs. Goose's birthday tonight, 10 p.m. It's happening.
No, she's actually working.
Oh, okay.
So
it's going to be later than that. I got you.
Yeah,
10,
but well, no, she'll be working all night. Tonight, 10 p.m., 104.9 WXLR. If you live in the Bunker Studio area, be sure to tune in to Here to Chew Bubblegum as we hit the airways. Now, our first show we actually recorded last Sunday, and we were in and out of here in about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, a little over an hour.
So it kind of felt like we had the day off last
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah, it was all right.
You know, the show has been given to Eli. He's got it ready to air tonight. We're very excited. We'll be recording episode 2 later on this week, but on Tuesday night here at Bunker Studios, we're going to come back and record episode 2. And then 6 a.m. we'll be up recording the midweek moment.
What if we just...
No.
You didn't even let me finish.
Well, so I just wanted to say no.
What if we do the show at night, and then we just stay here and investigate?
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
And investigate things around the area, and then 6 a.m. we midweek moment.
You know what you do on Wednesdays, though? That's your biggest day at the Cookie Factory.
I know.
I do good to get you here at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
That's why I tell you we're taping at 5:15, because at 6 a.m., guess who comes rolling through the door?
I have trouble with time.
Now, all right. You have a
Time is relative.
You have a Diet Mountain Dew, and what is that? One of those energy drinks?
It is.
Okay. You have 2 drinks in front of you. Why?
Well, I need an energy drink for the energy.
Okay.
And I like the taste of the Diet Mountain Dew.
Why don't you just drink them together? Why don't you mix them and drink them together?
I feel like that would hurt.
No,
Yeah.
it wouldn't. Don't be a weenie.
If you
man.
look, this is 0 sugar and 0 calories. So, it's okay.
Yeah, but look at the sodium in intake in that. What is it, like 200 and some milligrams?
I don't know. Yeah, how'd you see that?
I've got good eyes.
I'm skeptical.
So-
You're like 58 years old.
Oh, no, I'm not 58 years old. So, we got a new employee at the Cookie Factory this week, officially started. Have you had a chance to meet Pretty Boy yet?
I have seen him, but I haven't had a chance to really talk to him.
Pretty Boy is hilarious.
Is he?
Oh, yes.
Well, good.
Yes. He is from Boston, where they drive cars.
Boston.
Yeah.
We got cars and the car keys and these car keys.
And the car keys and going to the car house. What would the car house, do they call it a car house or do they call it a garage in Boston?
I don't know. I'm not from Boston.
I'll have to ask Pretty Boy that next
You
week.
should. So is he going to make a good addition to the Cookie Factory?
He is going to be a great addition at the Cookie Factory.
Well,
His cookie making skills are on par to the T. And when he was a little boy, he even dreamed of working at the Cookie Factory
And making cookies.
and making cookies.
Everybody has to have a job.
Yes, they do. He actually had a old uniform issued to him, and he found a Pop-Tart in the front left pocket. That's a true story. Actually happened. I think he found it on Tuesday. So he wore the jacket around all day Monday, didn't stick his hands in his pocket when he did Tuesday. In front of the head of the Cookie Factory, he said, something's in here, and he pulled out a Pop-Tart. For real.
Really?
Yeah.
So, like, how long had that Pop-Tart been in there? Did he eat it?
No, he did not eat it. He threw it away.
Was it an actual, like, was it
It was a Pop-Tart.
was it in the wrapper?
No, it was half eaten. And
You're kidding.
No, I am serious. I am serious. You can ask Bunny. Bunny's the head of the Cookie Factory, and it had been there since the end of September.
Did it have mold and stuff on it?
I don't know. I was in a different part of the factory when they found it. I just heard laughter.
That is fantastic.
So,
and a little worrisome.
Very, very worrisome. Man, roundtable shows, we had a huge response. I know you said that you didn't have many emails.
Yeah, people don't email Cronkite.
I didn't either. And I kind of expected that. I even told you when we did the first, because we actually recorded a roundtable shows all on the same day. And I told you where we wasn't doing questions of the week and we wouldn't, interactive. We were just doing a roundtable because that's what our fans had asked for, that the email might be slow.
Right.
And it was to mine your personal email. We did all, me, you, Elliot, Ned, we did all get emails from Tanya. Mm-hmm. Tanya.
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 TAWN-YUH.
Tanya.
Yeah.
We all did get emails from her. We'll be reading those in just a minute. But
friend of the show, Tanya.
Yes, friend of the show.
She emails us all the time, and
yes.
that is huge.
Well,
big shout out to Tanya.
We have her, Dixon09, Obi, and what was the lady from the UK's name?
Lori, yes.
Yeah. But we did have more email in our generic here to Chew Bubblegum at Yahoo. Mm-hmm. And if you want to, we'll start out reading some of those. I'll read one from, guess who? Tanya.
Tanya. Let me tell you something. It's not me. Goose is just doing it just to be messing with you.
All right. Let's see. She says, my goodness, I thought I loved this show before, but after the roundtable, episode 1, I could listen to you all 24/7. Please do whatever you have to do to keep Elliot and Ned on the show. Ned and Elliot are funnier than I knew, and Cronkite's British accent was hilarious.
It was.
I don't know if she's got good taste or not.
No,
her accent was hilarious.
It's pretty good taste.
She goes on to say, thank you so much. I recently lost my mom, and this show has helped me laugh for the first time in days. Also, please watch out for those men in black. And she's talking about when we ended the first episode, the discovery we have made with Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated.
Yes.
We actually called them on the show the next day with the encouragement of Cronkite, Elliot, and Ned. I called them again from my personal cell phone. Mm-hmm. On Sunday, we called them from the Here to Chew Bubblegum number. Mm-hmm. And I left a message, same message that you heard on the show. Mm-hmm. I requested an interview, and I have yet to hear back. And I didn't really think that I would.
Right.
Let's see. She ends by saying, I think you all did stumble across something crazy. Roswell, Tanya.
Well, I think we did too, for sure. Have you seen any black vehicles or anything? Anyone following you?
No. I mean, when we first did that show for the first couple of days, and I'm not a paranoid type of guy, but the first 3 days I was kind of looking over my shoulder. How about you?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't really looking over. But I'm oblivious to things most days. So
yes, you are.
I mean, I don't even know what day it is today.
It's Sunday.
Okay. If you say so.
Okay.
All right, so mine is, I've got Dan from the United Kingdom.
Dan. Hello, Dan. Dan's a dapper man.
Dan the dapper man. Says, here to Chew Bubblegum, I have to vent! ! Oh, boy. Trump won the election. However, it was stolen from him, and the proof is there for all to see. The media helped Biden steal the election. Biden is a total embarrassment. His mental health is shot. Over here in the UK, we are no better with bumbling Boris. This world is truly the Twilight Zone. So I will go ahead and throw this out there. We are not a political show.
No, we are not.
However, any emails that you want to send, we will read them.
But we may not comment on them.
We may not comment on them because whatever your political views are your own. This is a place for chewing some bubblegum.
That's exactly right.
However, Dan, thank you for your email. Glad you could vent. Glad you got it off your chest, and glad you feel better.
Mary from Ohio writes, hey, Goose, Cronkite, Ned, and Elliot. The roundtable shows were great. My husband and I really enjoyed them. Here's a recommendation for you guys. Has anyone read Reverend Lionel Fanthorpe's book, Mysteries and the Secrets of Time? It's a good read. They mention of a spark plug being found in rock settlement millions of years old. Let's see. She continues. Here's an interesting question. Do you think free will can be possible in the universe that only has one timeline and that timelines exist in its entirety? beginning to end, if not infinite. And even if you may not have experienced something yet, if you think in 4D terms, fourth dimensional in this case, being from the whole line of time, as in the whole dimension or line of time, could we make our choices of what we do before we were born, or rather outside of time, to be more specific?
My brain hurts. Well, that's
the only thing that caught me off guard with that email is she said B4, and it was the number. It was the letter B and the number 4, and I almost yelled out bingo.
You would. You know, that's interesting, though. I mean, because if you think about it, the Big Bang Theory.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the universe started from nothing. There was an explosion. It's still traveling outward. That's how much energy was involved in this. So everything that we know and exist came from this one point. The explosion is still going outward. Once it comes back in, as all explosions do, correct?
Correct.
And it closes back on itself, of course, all life in the universe will cease to exist. But what happens then? Is there another Big Bang? Have we done this several times, or millions of times, or thousands, or however many times? Have we
banged before?
Have we been here before?
Is that what you were going to ask? Have we banged before?
Not at all. I was going to say, have we been here before? have you and I actually done this show?
Dude, your face is turning blood red.
You know, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, my face is turning blood red because it's hot in here.
Yes, it is. Papaw had the heat turned up a little bit in the bunker.
Yeah,
he didn't want us to freeze.
And Papaw needs to chill out with that. It's summertime now.
You know, and I'm fascinated with time travel, like I am UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a lot of legitimate time travel stories. There's a few out there that you could kind of be like, maybe this did happen.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is possible. You know, when you talk about other dimensions and this and that, I'm fascinated with that. But at the same time, I've not really researched it a whole lot.
So what if the Big Bang Theory, going back to that for a second, if when the universe collapses in on itself and it Big Bangs again, what if those are the different timelines that we perceive as time? Those different explosions, and at the same point in time as the previous Big Bang.
Right. I get what you're saying, and it's possible. Anything's possible.
It's crazy.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Crazy. All right, moving on to mine. I have Tanya from Kentucky.
Yes.
She's messaging about episode 2 now.
Yes.
Thank you for another great show. I can't brag on you all enough. I wish the normal show could be all four of you at all times. I didn't know Ed and Elliot were as funny as they are. Goose and Cronkite, thank you so much for being the best podcast host. I see the Scarefest is coming back. Can we expect to see you there? I hope so. My daddy was an engineer on the railroad. He never spoke of the UFOs, but he did mention one time when he was coming through Bowling Green or somewhere. I was young when he told me this story, and sadly now that Mommy is dead, I have no way of getting the confirmation that he and his buddy noticed what they thought was a set of trees on fire. When they got closer, it was actually 10 men dressed in robes holding torches. He said it creeped him out so bad that his buddy refused to take the route ever again. He also mentioned a story about seeing a headless man walking along the tracks, but he never mentioned the specifics. Thanks again, guys. I wish you success with your new radio show. God bless you all. Signed, Tanya, parentheses, TAWN-YUH.
Thank you very much, Tanya. I've looked into getting us a booth, maybe at Scarefest. That's something that's still on the table.
That'd be exciting.
The problem there is that where they had to cancel last year, they have a lot of people that are still on board.
Right.
So as of now, they were trying to find a new location. As of now, their space is limited. And their website or Facebook page might say something different, but when you contact them, their space is kind of limited. You're on the standby list.
So
that's currently what we're on, but those dates are not set.
So with so maybe by next year we can probably start going to some
definitely.
Because COVID put everything.
Hopefully by the end of the year we will at least have 1 or 2 conventions under our belt.
Yeah.
And I'm 99.9% sure that we will, unless something happens like a COVID 2, the return of Conan COVID.
Well, and that's the thing is COVID put everything on hold, so all of these festivals there was booked up then.
Yeah.
Still booked up.
Even look in our area, Hillbilly Days, second year in a row they canceled it.
Yep.
So, And I failed to mention before we started, too, that this is emails and texts from this week.
Oh, okay.
So we're not going to read all of them. I'm going to read my page. And how many more pages do you have there?
I have 3 more pages.
Okay. I'm going to read the rest of my page. I'll save my last page, so I'll tell you, too, when to pause, and we'll save the rest for segment 3.
Okay.
Shelley from West Virginia says, hey, here to chew bubblegum. What do you think about civilizations which built all the mind-blowing megalithic structures and temples? Were they built by super advanced human civilizations or alien? Or could they be otherworldly non-human civilizations? I'll listen for your answer, Roswell. I think the pyramids, I mean, even though people have explained how they could have done it with human labor, I think it's amazing that they were built that way. And not there, but the Mayan pyramids as well, and other structures, and they predate, anything. I'm still curious as to what is under one of the paws of the Sphinx. Like Edgar Casey said a long time ago, that you would find the Hall of Records there that would contain, records from our human origin and how they were built and vast other things.
I don't know. I mean, I do feel like the ancients, the structures, I believe that they're there for a reason. Maybe the humans didn't understand what maybe they were used for slave labor, but I do believe they were built for a civilization that were more advanced than the time of humanity was at that point. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
I was very rambly just now.
You're always rambling. You're like a woman. You never shut up. Go ahead and read
my mind is Rolodex. It just kind of goes wherever. All right, so Stephen from Lucas from Virginia says, love the roundtable shows. I missed Elliot's articles and Ned's segments. Are you going to bring those back in the question of the week too?
Yes, we will. We do have a new question of the week this week because I messaged my fellow guys in our Facebook Messenger group, which is myself, you, Elliot, and Ned, and none of you assholes responded, so I come up with a question of the week myself.
I completely, I won't say I forgot because I made the decision to close that notification out.
Why?
I don't know. I think I was busy at the time, but I do remember seeing the question and thinking, there's 3 other guys. They'll come up with something.
Oh, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
And we will be back this week with Elliot's articles. He actually talks about one of my favorite Kentucky events, and it's actually one of your favorites, the Kentucky Meat Shower.
It's not my favorite.
Yes. Well, it was actually in your hand-picked videos that you put on YouTube.
I don't know if people are realizing this yet or not, but anytime Goose says it's hand-picked or Cronkite said or best of anything, it's usually him going,
No.
This is going to be funny. It's going to get a reaction to Cronkite. That's what it is.
No, it's not. How many more do you have on that page there?
1, 2, 3.
Okay, read us another one.
Stephen from Mississippi, greetings, Goose and Cronkite. I'll start by saying that I'm not the novelist Stephen. I am not the novelist Stephen that wrote in the midweek show. I've never laughed so hard. I laughed till tears while streaming down my face. Why do you think he wrote that long email? Have you heard from him again, Roswell? Actually, Stephen, we have heard from Stephen.
Yes.
We will read his email on the midweek show.
Yes.
We'll read his email on the midweek show. Now, yes, it was a long email, and this one is a long email as well. However,
but let's not give anything away right now. They'll have to watch the midweek show this week to find out.
Yes, but
did Stephen appreciate your thrashing, or is he going to let you have it?
Well, I don't know. I'm still red, so
I would be too.
King Allen from Florida says, new to the show and just wanted to say that I really like the roundtable shows. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is the roundtable shows were a huge hit, and we're definitely going to do more.
We're definitely going to do them again. Let me read one. I'll read your that last one. Anna from Tennessee says, hey, Goose, Cronkite, Ned, and Elliot, what do you think about civilizations, which are all mind-blowing methalithic structures and temples, like the Angkor Wat, W-A-T. They were built by super advanced human civilizations or alien, other non-human civilizations, Roswell. That's similar to Shelley's, but not the exact same thing. And I think these came from when was it that was it on one of the roundtable shows? We said we were going to talk about the pyramids, or was that the last podcast show that we did?
Podcable show. I'm not sure. I do remember vaguely just saying.
Somebody saying, and that's where those came from. Again, I've not researched those enough. You know, we will talk about the pyramids soon.
Just kind of talking
civilizations and
just kind of off the top of your head. What do you say? That's what she's asking.
I don't think they were man-made.
I don't either. Well, I mean, they may have been man-made, but there was definitely some outside intervention, I believe.
Definitely.
Greg from West Virginia, hello, here to Chew Bubblegum. This email is for Elliot, so you can turn your earphones off. You don't need to hear this.
Okay.
Elliot, you were awesome on the roundtable shows. I found you very entertaining and informative. I'd like to hear your take on the Beatles' 13th album and John Teeter, Roswell.
Elliot?
Did he do a 13th album episode? He hasn't, or he was talking about it. He just hasn't done it yet.
He talked about it in our group message, which you turned off. So apparently,
no, I
just
turned
it back on.
I know I turned it off. Just whenever you asked that question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I turned it back on though.
Dude,
it's back on.
Okay,
it's fine.
Okay.
Are you mad at me?
No.
Don't be mad.
I'm gonna talk to you during the break about it. No, I'm not mad.
Don't be mad.
But we'll save the rest of those for towards the end of the show. How many do you have? You got 2 pages left.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We'll also be talking to James Smith in segment 3.
I have 6
we'll
left.
finish up listener email. I think I have 4 or 5.
Okay.
Left.
Should we tell the other big news we have?
What's that?
So we have a new T-shirt design. Goose, are you excited about that?
I'm very excited about it.
My dad, Old Man Cronkite, his girlfriend has made us a design for a T-shirt. It looks very awesome.
It is kick-ass.
It is kind of incorporates pretty much everything we talk about, and we're going to kind of test the waters and put it out there to see what kind of response we'll get from our listeners. If we will, we're going to put it on as a T-shirt. If you guys want one, let us know. We'll get them all made up and everything.
We will sell it to you, and we may even do a contest where we give some away.
Sure, and but we will show you the design on the midweek moment, and it's going to be a very, very cool shirt. Now, if these shirts do well, we already have in mind of doing some more. So a few of our listeners have asked for merch, and we're kind of playing around with that, just trying to start kind of dabble into it.
Shirts, hats, underwear, socks, scarves, boggins, gloves,
bobbleheads, coffee mugs, keychains,
saddles,
ink pens, saddles. Yeah. Yeah, well, assless chaps.
We are going to make
Pretty Boy, actually,
life-size pillow of Cronkite that you can purchase.
That's a big pillow. I think I do know Pretty Boy because I'm pretty sure he ordered a set of here at Chew Bubblegum assless chaps the other day.
I think you are correct.
I think I do know who you're talking about.
We're going to take a break and come back and start off the show with. We're going to talk about some buried treasure that's still up for grabs. And I'm going to go state by state. Well, probably not state by state because we'll be here for a while. But talk about state UFO sightings for 2020.
I'm actually curious. How many states are in the United States?
There's 51. 54. Shit, dude. How many are they?
50. You were right the first time.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny to get your reaction. Well, you do it to me, so.
Yes, I do. And you wait till Wednesday morning. We will be right back.
Here to Chew Bubblegum.
When you want fresh, authentic Mexican food, you want El Picante in Coal Run. Dine on sizzling hot fajitas, the freshest pico de gallo, or if you're craving their secret ingredient jalapeno dip, the only place you'll find it is El Picante. Look, there are Mexican restaurants on every corner. The difference is in the mouth-watering food and the great service you'll get at El Picante in Coal Run. Visit El Picante for lunch today.
Hey everyone, this is Goose from Here to Chew Bubblegum. I want to tell you about my friend T-Shirt Joe at FastCustomShirts.com. T-Shirt Joe is your go-to guy for all your custom work. Also, you can check out their website and find artist originals, college shirts, comics, famous folk, fetish, military, movie shirts, occupations, podcast and website shirts, plus he has face mask and many other items over at fastcustomshirts.com. While there at their website, you can sign up for their newsletter. Or you can give Joe a call at area code 361-814-9212. That's 361-814-9212 to contact my friend T-Shirt Joe at fastcustomshirts.com.
Goose and Cronkite. Give the guys a break. They're not that bright.
And we are back.
I'm back. I finished off my energy drink.
You did that in one gulp.
I didn't. I've been sipping on it.
I've not saw you sip on it.
I've been sipping on it.
That has 10 calories in it.
Listen, it takes a lot to maintain this physique that I've got going.
Okay. And you have been working hard for it. So,
yeah.
I will give you credit where credit is due.
There's a lot of mashed potatoes going into this old body.
Now, we're going to talk about some buried treasure.
All right.
And I know this is something that you really, this is not one of your favorite topics.
I love buried treasure.
Yeah, that's why you're getting on your cell phone, is I'm starting to read about buried treasure.
What is it?
Anyway, I don't think I've told you, but what was the phrase you used to describe the metal detecting guy from The Curse of Oak Island? Bobby Dangler, is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what he says.
He actually said that like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Bobby Dangler.
And that's the first time he had ever said that on that show. But he actually said Bobby Dangler.
I guarantee
and
it.
I busted out laughing.
I guarantee it. I can't wait till he writes in and be like, you can't talk to me like that. I got a Bobby Dangler here for you.
Our top 5 treasures that are still up for grabs in Maine, and you've talked about Maine before. A pirate's treasure could be worth millions. There's a small town in Maine that could be the home of pirates' buried treasure worth millions of dollars in and valuables. It's believed to have belonged to pirate Samuel Bellamy, who was resting in the area before making another pilot run when he was captured and hanged in Massachusetts for his crimes. Bellamy never made his way back for the treasure he left in Maine. What do you think about that?
I think we should go to Maine and start digging holes.
There's actually some closer ones around here, and one that has been found on this list doing some research. New York, Nazi loot hidden in the Catskills. That's got your attention.
That doesn't surprise me, though.
That's got your attention. If you're hunting for Dutch Schultz's treasure in the Catskills, it might be wise to check out the town of Liberty, New York, as well. But you won't need a shovel or a treasure map for this treasure. Just your wit. So this cancels you out.
Yeah, I'm doing
In
that.
1942, German immigrant and aviation officer Odo Heilig's plane was hijacked by 2 Nazi spies, but ended in a mid-air struggle, leaving the German soldiers dead. Hilling then stole the money that they had but didn't keep it, so he hid it and left a set of clues for others to find the money via his trusted assistant. The money still to this day has not been found, and that happened in 1942.
Are there like riddles or something we can find it with?
I think so, yeah.
It's like 15 hours from here. You said Liberty, New York, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
We'll just do a road trip?
Well, there's some in Virginia and Pennsylvania here. New Jersey, head south for a chance to find a pirate's buried treasure. Pirate Captain William Kidd. Oh, you know who that is, don't you? Captain Kidd. Is believed to have left a few buried treasure chests near Cape Cod. Cape May Point, I'm sorry. I just saw Cape and put Cod in front of it. Don't ask, man, don't ask.
What? Do you not read stuff?
Dude, anyway.
Cape Cod, I mean, May Point.
Dude, my phone was going off. I was trying to see if we had a notification from our Facebook post.
You're right.
Anyway, this is in Cape May Point in southern New Jersey. According to the Cape May County website, a captain once claimed that he saw a few men head ashore near North Wildwood and returned to their ship with a treasure chest, believed to be the one of many kid hid in the area. Pennsylvania. Now, this is an interesting one, okay? Lost Civil War treasure. Historical documents say that the Union Army was moving gold bars to Virginia to pay soldiers, but along the way the gold was lost. According to a piece from the New York Times, there were 52 bars, originally thought to be 26, each 14-karat gold bar weighing 50 pounds, making the trove potentially worth millions of dollars. In 2018, the FBI received permission to do some digging in an unnamed area, but according to reports, nothing was found. Now, the FBI put out the story that nothing was found. But currently, this one is off the list because the FBI did find it, according to reports. They did find the lost Civil War treasure, and they're being sued by the historians who gave them the information. Now, how this actually came about is you had this father and son, historians, treasure hunters. They went to the FBI because they traced where this was at. It was on some national land. So they told them what was there. They told them where it was at, how far down it was, and that they wanted their permission to dig. They told them no. Then the FBI went and dug it up. And the family, the father and son team, watched them do this, and they denied it. And this has been a court battle since 2018.
$68,840,000.
That is what the FBI found. So
that's dirty.
Yeah,
that's dirty.
That's very dirty. You know, because these guys were historians. You know, I mean, they wanted part of the financial gain, but they wanted to preserve the history and to prove if the story was true. It turns out the story was true, and the FBI just took their information and ran with it. That's one reason why you never trust the government.
That's crazy.
So
why?
Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
No. I like living. I'm not going to say anything.
Dude, we have uncovered the Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated. I mean, and you're still here.
That's true.
3 weeks after.
By the way, I need to look up and see if they're still a company.
Yeah, look that up because their website had disappeared, then it came back. Taking us to the state of Virginia, a burlap sack worth $300 million. Confederate Ranger. I have no clue what's wrong with my mouth today. It's like I'm a little. Confederate Ranger Colonel John Singleton Mosby and his band of raiders surprised more than 40 Union troops at the Fairfax courthouse and overcame them without firing a shot, according to History.com. Mosby snuck off with a burlap sack filled with gold, silver, jewelry, and more, all said to be worth more than $350,000 at the time.
Read the green.
Now, Cronkite is showing me the IngersollLockwood.com website, and there's a green highlighted thing that says this site is for U.S. patriots, U.S. Department of Defense, FBI.gov, DISA.gov, NIST.gov, CIA.gov, NSA.gov, U.S. military, U.S. veterans, and their immediate families. Your IP address is being tracked. You do not have permission to be here if you are not in the subject group. If, however, you are in the select subject group, feel free to continue on to one of our many projects. Continue on because you're a U.S. patriot. Push it. Continue on. Going back to the Mosby story, even though his men told him to bury the treasure in the woods, he then sent them back to retrieve it. They were captured. Mosby never came back to retrieve the treasure and didn't tell anyone else the exact location of the burlap sack, buried somewhere in the woods of Fairfax County, Virginia. So that's one that's still up for grabs. Now, you're intrigued there with the Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated, correct? Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
I'm kind of terrified that I'll use it on my personal phone.
Well, you shouldn't be. And if anyone wants Cronkite's personal cell phone number, it's area code 606. And Cronkite is writing some info down. So, buried treasure still out there. I'm still fascinated with buried treasure. If anybody in our audience has ever attempted to look for buried treasure or has a fascination or knows where any buried treasure is at, please email us, myself and Cronkite. We will help you go out and retrieve this treasure, won't we, Cronkite?
We certainly will.
So, moving on. States with the most UFO spotted in 2020. I have a top 10 of the most states that had the most UFO sightings, and then a top 10 of states that had the fewest UFO sightings. Number 1 is Idaho, had the most UFO spottings in 2020. Number 2, Montana. Number 3, New Hampshire. Number 4, Maine. Number 5, New Mexico. Number 6, Vermont. Number 7, Wyoming. Number 8, Hawaii. Number 9 was Washington, and number 10 was Connecticut for the states with the most UFO sightings in the year 2020. States with the least UFO sightings in 2020. Now, this first one is hard for me to believe, but it says Texas is one of the number 1 state with the fewest UFO sightings in 2020. What's your take on that, Cronkite? That Texas was the number 1 spot in the fewest spotted states that had UFO sightings.
The number one fewest?
Fewest was Texas.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't to me either. Continuing the list with the states with the fewest UFO sightings. Number 2 is Louisiana. Number 3 is New York. Number 4 is Maryland. Number 5, Illinois. Number 6, California. Number 7, Alabama. Number 8, Mississippi. Number 9, Georgia. And number 10 was North Carolina. Let's see, Kentucky in 2020 had 130 UFO sightings, and that was up 2.91%, and they rank 26th on the list. Let's see exactly how many. Idaho had 164. That was up 9.18% in 2020, making them the states with the most UFO sightings. Going through the list here quickly, Texas, with the fewest, had 75. That was up 1.2%. You had a UFO sighting. You said that you saw, was it last night, Cronkite?
Yeah, actually, the thing that we had saw a while back, which was on the kind of like a southeast or location from where we were at, actually appeared on a northwest location last night.
Did it look exactly the same as it did back in?
Exactly the same, maybe even a little brighter.
So, but just on a different end of town.
Mm-hmm. Very strange.
What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I mean, it looked like they were moving. They were moving in formation though this time.
So, well, you know, and I did used to say I wish somebody could get a picture, but after the experience that we had back into January 1st, February, it's really hard to get a picture at night, you know.
Your IP address is being tracked. No rights granted. We reserve all rights. And it's big and flashing now.
Oh, really? Turn around here. Let's see it.
You can see it.
So,
it's flashing there.
Well, hit show me and see what comes up.
That's exactly what I just did. And it takes me to subscribe to learn the secrets that may help us all kill the virus.
You need to subscribe to that.
$0 fee, free membership will share you at least 4 critical documents. One sheet, double-sided document that, while we can't say or promise to cure anything, it lists what we're doing to kill the virus and what we believe has worked for us. We'll share a more detailed slideshow. Uh-oh.
Have you been blocked out?
I think so.
And Cronkite investigates. Again, going back to our first roundtable show, at the end of the show, we uncovered Ingersoll Lockwood, for those of you who don't know, is the author that wrote the Adventures of Baron Trump. And there is a company currently in Washington, D.C. that's just right down the street, I guess you could say throwing distance from the White House, called Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated. Now, we tried to call that website when we did our roundtable. We got a voicemail. A few hours later, I messaged everybody that was involved in that segment of the roundtable, and the website was actually shut down at that time. I guess, was it the next day that it came back up, or later on that night that it came back up?
It was actually 2 days later.
2 days later, the site came back up, and it had the warnings like the one I just read prior. It had a warning like that. And I did call Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated and left a message, requested an interview. Nobody's got back up with me. But something is really, I honestly think that we've really uncovered something there, because no other podcast, no other show, no other radio show, no other YouTube channel, I don't think have ever talked about a connection with Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated, to the best of my knowledge. What do you think, Cronkite?
Yeah, I mean, it's very strange. So, like, so is this the phone number that you called last time?
Let's see it there. Yes, that is it. Next week I was planning, I'll go ahead and make this known now. Next week, I don't know what chapter we're in. We will have a chapter, another chapter in the Truth Is Out There series on the show next week. Why don't we make Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated one of our subjects for next week?
Okay, we can do that.
And in the meantime, me and you both will do research on that company, and we'll try to find out if there's a connection with Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated or Ingersoll Lockwood and anything that's UFO Area 51 related or Lockheed Martin.
There definitely is.
Does that sound good to you?
It says right here on their website.
Well, yeah. Well,
and
research done.
Look who the picture is of that guy.
Yes, that's Ingersoll Lockwood. So we will talk about that more next week when we do The Truth Is Out There.
We're not going to be here next week. They're going to kill us before that.
No, they're not. I wasn't on my phone looking at their website.
Well, they're going to kill me before that.
No, you'll still be here. We're going to take a break and come back, and you're going to talk about, what are you going to talk about?
Well, all right. So this week, actually, the lady who drew our picture turned me on to a movie called The Secret, The Law of Attraction.
Was it on Lifetime?
It was not.
Okay.
No. But
because Cronkite loves Lifetime. He watches a lot of Lifetime television.
There's a funny story about that, actually. All right, I'll just tell it.
All right.
So one time I was having not an emotional, but like I was having a tough week. And it was like a Saturday morning or something like that. And I had like a 6-pack of Budweiser sitting next to me, and I was cracking the bottles open and drinking and eating that cheese popcorn stuff. And this is back when I lived with my mother. And she walks through the house and she was like, "What are you doing?" And there was a Lifetime movie on the show or on the TV. And she was like, "Why are you drinking at 9 o'clock in the morning watching Lifetime?" I was like, "He's so mean to her." I was having a bit of a crisis that day.
But we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and Cronkite's going to talk about the movie The Secret. We'll have an all-new Elliot's Articles right after you hear this.
Are you a horror movie fan? Yeah, I dig horror movies. Are you searching for a great internet horror talk radio show to listen to? Why, sure, that sounds quite spiffy. Then you need to tune into Deadpit.com. It's the original horror talk radio show. Dead Pit is a show by the fans and for the fans. Uncensored and unbiased opinions are the goal of the show, giving fans honest reviews on new films and vintage classics of the horror genre. Make Deadpit.com your #1 horror station destination.
Be sure to check out HereToChewBubblegum.com.
This is Cronkite, Here to Chew Bubblegum. We are back. That gentleman sitting across from me
are.
is Goose.
Yes, I am. And during the break, Cronkite wants to call Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated.
I do. And it being a Sunday, I doubt them answering, but we'll
leave
try.
him a message. You can leave him a message.
I will.
He is very intrigued by this. I have never seen anything take his attention like this.
It's very exciting. All right, so we are...
You have reached the voicemail of Cyber Defense Media Group. Please leave a message after the tone. Thank you for calling.
Hello, this is Cronkite with Here to Chew Bubblegum. We are a podcast, and we would like to interview you just regarding the possible connection of Ingersoll Lockwood and the Barron Trump books and you know, what you guys do. If you could, please give us a call back at 606-373-3396.
Or the number he called from.
Or the number I called from, 606-422-4224.
Whoa. You're giving your private number out on the show.
I certainly am.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Just call him back from the number he called for.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
They're going to say, those guys are crazy.
Those guys are stupid.
Yes, yes.
Look who just showed up.
Ned. Yay. Welcome, Ned. Guess who he just called? Who? Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated, and left a message.
And I almost gave him my real cell phone
He
number.
was giving his real personal cell phone out. I'm like, wait, stop, man. We're doing the show. You're about to give your real personal cell phone
Well,
out.
and here's why. Because we have been looking up their website, and it's like...
It is more advanced than what it was a few weeks ago when we did get back on it.
It says your IP address is being tracked. You're not
Which
allowed
it
to be
said
here.
that before, but it was talking about the only people that could be there was FBI, military, U.S. patriots.
But we are U.S.
Yada,
patriots.
yada, yada.
Well, I'll see y'all later.
Ned, we're glad to have you, brother.
Man, I can't believe I was almost giving my phone number out.
Yeah,
over
I
the
know. You're stupid.
airwaves.
You're stupid.
Well, they already have your number.
No, I wasn't talking about them. I mean, I know they're already tracking my IP address. They know.
He gave him the show number, which was fine. Then he started, or you could call me back at 606, and started giving his number out. And it took me a minute to realize what he was doing, and I stopped him. I'm like, dude, we're actually recording a show right now. You're giving your personal number out.
Listen,
So,
I'm very sorry.
you know, I think I'm just going to go ahead and give your personal number out to the fans.
Here's the
Because,
thing,
I mean,
the-
you've already did it.
I
So,
didn't give them
right.
the whole number. Here's the thing: the fans would all be calling me, be like, "Cronkite, you stupid."
So, if you do want to get in touch with Cronkite, his
606-373-3396, or my email cronkite@hereatchewbubblegum.com.
or Goose at hereatchewbubblegum.com.
No, they're not trying to get a hold of you. They're trying to get a hold of me.
Or Ned and Elliot at
hereatchewbubblegum
at yahoo.com. Just put in the subject line, attention Ned or Elliot. Go ahead and tell us about The Secret.
All right. So, have you ever heard of The Secret?
Just the deodorant.
Oh yeah, that is right. They do have a secret deodorant. So anyway, so on several shows before, we have talked about, or I've made claims that everything in the world, everything in the universe is connected, right?
Yes.
So this movie is called The Secret: The Law of Attraction, and I watched it yesterday, and it essentially says the same thing, and it tells you how to, how to be in better health and how to be in better mindset and things like that.
Well, you definitely need that.
Well, see, here's the thing. So everything that has started, everything from airplanes, light bulb, podcast, everything started in the mind. It started as an idea.
Exactly.
So, and it essentially kind of goes like your mind controls what you do. You are living in your body. Your mind is what takes you further. And so the law of attraction is, I'll kind of give a brief overview of it here. It is, what is the secret? The secret is the law of attraction. Under the law of attraction, the complete order of the universe is determined, including everything that comes into your life and everything that you experience. It does so through the magnetic power of your thoughts. Through the law of attraction, like attracts like. What you think about, you bring about. So how is this so?
I like that. What you think about, you bring about.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So there's even actually
Nobody going to be talking about my children like that.
Yeah. So even under laboratory conditions, cutting-edge science has confirmed that every thought is made up of energy and has its own unique frequency. We've even talked about that before.
Yes,
the
we
Earth
have.
has its own frequency. Everything vibrates to a certain frequency. And when this energy and frequency of a single thought radiates out into the universe, it naturally interacts with the material world. Of course, it has long been known that matter or physical objects are just packets of energy at the submicroscopic quantum level. And so, as your thought radiates out, it attracts the energy and frequencies of like thoughts, like objects, and even like people, and draws those things back to you. It follows then that your thoughts become things. It's the law of attraction. How to harness this is all-powerful universal law of attraction in order to create the life of your dreams. Well, now that is the secret. So that's essentially what it is. You go and you read this, or you go through, and there's even a book, but I watched the movie because I don't read. And
No, is this on Amazon?
I just searched it on YouTube.
Okay.
Found it on YouTube. Now, there are, so you know the Chicken Soup for the Soul author?
Yes.
He's on there. Bob Proctor is on there, and there's even a few scientists, laboratory guys who are on there talking about it. And
Now, I have not seen Bob Barker and everything since he did The Price is Right.
Proctor.
Oh, okay, Proctor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dude, I'm just trying to throw some comic effect in there.
Ridiculous.
Now, when you were describing that kind of what thought came to my mind was, you know how when you think about a song or a TV show, and then like a few minutes later, there it is. I was just thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what came to my mind when you were describing that.
Well, and we've even talked about it. We've even said that, you know, it's weird that we'll be talking about some stuff and wanting to put it on next week's show, and then our listeners will
email about it.
Yeah, and we've even talked about how that's weird.
Yes.
But it's kind of the law of attraction, and essentially what it says is, if you put positive out into the world, positive will be attracted to you. If you put negative out into the world, negative will be attracted to you.
I believe that 110%.
Absolutely. And so basically it says, it kind of takes you through all of these people who are millionaires, billionaires, and whatever, that's kind of the wealth side of The Secret. And then it kind of goes through talking about the health benefits and the mental health benefits and all of that. And it's a very interesting movie to watch.
Now, I'm going to, and this goes along with that. Now, let's go back to when I was in 6th grade.
Okay.
I had this teacher.
Bob Barker?
No, I had this teacher. I won't say his name. He was a math teacher. He was a man, and he was really tall, and he was intimidating to 11, 12, 13-year-old kids. And I had the hiccups one day really bad, and I mean I was a kid that would always, at that time I would try to keep out of trouble. And I went up one day and I said, I need to go get a drink of water. I've got hiccups. The water fountain was down the hall. He's like, no, you don't. And I said, yeah, I do. He's like, let me hear one right now. And he scared me, and I lost the hiccups.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that, just his positive, thinking, I mean, even though, he probably just scared me, but still, that's one incident that I've never forgot. And I tried that with my kids when they were younger. I'm like, let me hear one now. Same thing,
Yeah.
They wouldn't hiccup.
And I've talked about several times how I think that everything is connected. Where you have, people call it the sixth sense or your gut instinct or whatever. It is simply everything is connected. Your thoughts, your actions, your mind, your mindset, everything is connected. And what you basically, if you're a negative person, you're going to bring negative onto your life. If you're a positive person, generally, you're going to bring positivity.
And I totally 110% agree with you.
But now you may be asking, why is Cronkite talking about?
Why is Cronkite talking about
a Lifetime subject?
A Lifetime subject.
Because it sounds like a Lifetime movie, right? But I'm talking about it because that is something that has never really been
talked about,
really thought about. I mean, it sounds hippie. It sounds very hippie.
No, well. No, not really.
Really?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, well, if you think about it in the way that
Ned, do you think it sounds hippie? Well,
Ned thinks it's hippie.
Ned agrees with you.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds hippie. If you think, hey, everybody beats to their own drum, blah blah. It's whatever. But it makes perfect sense because the way this world, the way the universe works, and even this whole show we've been talking about how the universe is all one big material, and if the Big Bang Theory happened the way we think it did, and it comes back together, and everything's out of existence, and then it happens again, we're technically all still here. So it would make sense. We're all made from the same material that everything else is made from. So we do have some sort of energy connection with everything around us.
I see what you're saying.
I'm glad you do, because I was rambling hard there.
Well, no, I mean, you were really making valid points and good points. I keep watching for my phone to ring, or you know what would be so cool is if they called before the end of the show, and
That would be cool.
and it was your phone,
It would be cool. I can't believe I tried to give them my phone number.
and they're like, "Hello, we're not going to use your real name because Cronkite, obviously, for those who don't know, is not your real name.
I mean,
It's a stage name."
it's already been said though on the air.
Well, that was Ned that done it, and I tried to edit that out, and I asked both of you, where was that at? You all even told me the wrong part, so.
I don't listen to this show.
We're going to step away for Elliot's articles, take a break, and come back, and we're going to call James Smith and talk to him about something he may have uncovered in Antarctica.
Now that's really exciting.
Yes, it is. We'll be back in just a moment.
Researching the inner workings of the net to bring you stories of the strange and unusual. It's Elliot's Articles on Here to Chew Bubblegum. Take it away, Elliot.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Elliot with Elliot's Articles on the Here to Chew Bubblegum podcast. Now, on the podcast, we've talked about some crazy things. We've talked about government conspiracies. We've talked about Bigfoot. We've even talked about aliens and flying saucers. But Kentucky is known for, well, some other strange events. And the strangest of the strange events, in my opinion, is the Great Kentucky Meat Shower. Now, today we're going to be looking at a Scientific American article written by Beck Crew on December 1st, 2014. In it, he talks about the Great Kentucky Meat Shower. Now, what exactly was it? Well, on March 3rd, 1876, large hunks of flesh fell from the sky over Olympia Springs in Bath County, Kentucky. It's a little bit of halfway between Moorhead and Winchester. Now, according to a New York Times article, again, this is coming from Beck Crew's article in Scientific American. According to a New York Times article published the following week, the phenomenon occurred right nearby the house of one Alan Crouch, whose wife was outside making soap when it happened. The meat, which looked like beef, fell all around her. The sky was perfectly clear at the time, and she said it fell like large snowflakes. If this was a documentary, according to the Scientific American article, the words meat shower would appear on screen right now with trickles of little red meat flakes falling behind. A few select flakes would fall in front of the words for effect. Back to the main part of the article. Back at the Crouch residence, a Mr. Harrison Gill, whose veracity was described by the New York Times as unquestionable, visited the day after the alleged flesh falls and noted the presence of meat sticking out of the fences and scattered across the ground. At least one of the hunks measured 10 centimeters squared, but most were 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters. They were apparently fresh when they fell, but having been left out all night, they were now spoiled and dry. 2 unidentified gentlemen turned up to taste the meat rain. Why? Why would you want to do that? But they did, and declared that it had the flavor of either venison or mutton. The first explanation came 3 months later, when someone called Leopold Brandis received and analyzed some of the specimens that had been preserved in glycerin. He announced that the meat was not actually meat at all. At least we have a proper explanation of this much-talked-of phenomenon, it was reported in Scientific American that year. It has been comparatively easy to identify the substance and to fix its status. The Kentucky Wonder is no more or less than Gnostic, a type of cyanobacteria that forms colonies surrounded by a protective gelatinous envelope. Gnostic is known to swell up into a translucent, jelly-like mass whenever it rains. Because it's so inconspicuous when dry, for many years people believed Gnostic to float on the breeze until it rained, which caused it to fall from the sky like hail. Colorful nicknames such as star jelly, witch's butter, and star slubber were even thrown around. Brandeis identified the Kentucky Gnostic as belonging to the species Gnostic cranium, which he described as flesh-colored in the Sanitarian. But really, it honestly looks like the color of seaweed. It tastes like a frog or spring chicken legs, he said, and it had ballooned and fallen upon the Crouch residence when it rained. But wait a minute. What rain? The Crouches reported that it was a perfectly clear night. There was no rain. So what was it? Well, later on, other people have taken up the cause of trying to figure out what exactly was this stuff that fell from the sky. Brandeis, he had given a couple of mystery meat samples to experienced histologist and president of the Newark Scientific Association, Dr. A. Mead Edwards, who said it was likely the lung tissue of a human infant or a horse. Now, wait a second. It's likely the lung tissue of a human infant or a horse. I would hate to be the guys who said that it tasted like mutton at this point. My goodness. Another histologist, Dr. J.W.S. Arnold, studied the specimens and agreed that they consisted of some kind of animal cartilage and lung tissue. Now, eventually, 7 samples were examined by several scientists who confirmed 2 to be lung tissue, 3 to be muscular tissue, and 2 were said to be made of cartilage. So how did they come to be involved in the infamous Kentucky shower of flesh? Enter the man with the best explanation so far for the shower of quivering flesh that we're probably ever going to get, Dr. L.D. Kastenbein, who wrote in an 1876 edition of the Louisville Medical News that it was quite literally a coordinated bout of projectile vulture vomit. I'll say it again. Projectile vulture vomit. Having obtained a sample of his own, Kastenbein set fire to it and observed that it smelt distinctly of rancid mutton. The only plausible theory explanatory of this anomalous shower appears to be that, as suggested by the old Ohio farmer, the disgorgement of some vultures that were sailing over the spot from their immense height, the particles were scattered by the prevailing wind over the ground, he wrote. The variety of tissue discovered, muscular, connective, fatty, structureless, etc., can be explained only by this theory. 2 species of vulture are found in Kentucky, the black vulture and the turkey vulture, both of which are known to projectile vomit their stomach contents away as either a defense mechanism or to make themselves light enough for flight. Now, folks, I don't know. Either way, vultures projectile vomiting meat, which people later sampled, I find that better than it being a infant human meat, but it's still very, very strange. Now, Kentucky's also had its fair share of frog showers where frogs fell from the sky, or, just strange things. There's always something falling from the sky in Kentucky. Well, I hope this has been a lighter bit of Elliot's articles. We'll look into some more stuff next week. As always, stay vigilant, dear listeners. Elliot out.
Do you have a Roku device? Do you want to escape the everyday? Then download the Edge TV. That is the Edge TV on your Roku device, spelled capital T, capital H, $ 3. Let James, Stacy, Greg, and the rest of the gang keep you entertained. The Edge TV, available now on Roku.
And we are back.
We certainly are.
What'd you do during the break?
I went and changed my cell phone number.
I don't blame you. We're actually going to be giving a call to James Smith right now. James called earlier, or messaged earlier in the week.
Hello.
Hello, is this James?
Sure is.
Hey, buddy. This is Goose. Across from the table is Cronkite.
Hey, James.
You are now a part of Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Well, how you guys doing today?
We are doing good. Stupid over here about give his personal cell phone number out in the last segment.
I'm just, it's off the rails this morning.
He just wanted to make some new friends. It's okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, some of the emails that we read, some of them's pretty out there sometimes. So those are the type of people that would probably call him anyway. So.
But then again, you can't really discredit anything, can you?
No, you can't. I actually sent him the video that you sent me from Antarctica earlier in the week, And he watched it, I watched it. We watched most of it again this morning when we were setting up for the show. And I'm going to put the link in the description of our post of our show on our platforms, and when we put it up on YouTube, I'm going to put the link up as well. Do you want to do you want to go ahead and set this up for us?
Well, I'm subscribed to, it's called Unexplained Mysteries. Really great YouTube channel, and they're very descriptive, and I just got done watching a new upload. They do about 3 or 4 a week. Crazy. But, so the other night I saw this one in particular, and they actually have quite a few of things that people are finding on Google Earth right now of things happening in Antarctica. And the most recent was there's like these 3 rows of something, perfect rows. Kind of like I was describing to somebody, like in war, I guess, where you have your front line and then the line behind and the line behind. When you zoom in on them, to me, and that's when I sent it to you, I was like, for some reason, to me, they look like those monoliths that were popping up all over the place.
Right. And Cronkite got sucked into those hard.
We did.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of them was, people just bored of the coronavirus or whatever, but these just look like giant towers. And when you do look at them close, they have skids in the snow, so they've been pushed there. But from where?
Now,
what are they there for?
Now, when I watched the video, and I was telling him this earlier, and I've not talked to you to share this with you, I thought they could possibly be solar panels going to an underground base. Cronkite had a theory as well, and his is really good too. Share that with us, Cronkite.
Well, they almost look like landing lights, like they would be set up in a landing, like to let airplanes know, hey, the runway's like just beyond this or whatever. And the video gives a description of how long they are, which I think he said was like 873 meters, which would be roughly 2,500 feet or so, which would be half a mile. So that would be kind of what you would expect to see, in a low visibility setting. Hey, the runway's here.
Why would there be 3 of them though?
I don't know.
3 huge rows. I didn't count how many there actually were.
There's quite a few. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on what he said on a plane landing, like a landing zone for aircraft?
I guess it very well could be, but then again, so where is the actual landing strip?
Exactly.
I would be more apt to go with the solar panel, but then again, that big. For a solar panel.
Well, but and I get what you're saying. I want to believe that they're monoliths and that they were placed there from unknown origins. But just me looking at it, and the video was really, really interesting and intriguing. Thank you very much for sending that to us. And if you come across any more like that, please send them to us.
Almost definitely.
But
But yeah. I won't discredit anything. Could it very well, because it doesn't show you the whole area.
No.
And I'm not too good with Google Earth for me to go on it and find exactly where they were at so that I could look around. So there could be structures there, and they just didn't show that in the video. They just showed these strange things. But then again, it still leaves the question. So let's say that technically is what it is, that there's a base there or a landing strip or something.
Right.
Well, my question is, like I said, if you go back and you really look, every single one of them have the drifts in the snow where they look like they've been moved there.
I saw that.
There's no tire tracks. There's no, so it doesn't go far. It's not like they were pushed over a far amount of land. When you look at it, it's just, barely half an inch, but every one of them have that.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a lot of whatever they are. Like I said, I didn't count them, but there's probably 20 or 30, if not more.
Yeah. Well, Cronkite caught the part where they were 2,700. What'd you say, feet? And that was like half a mile.
Yeah, it's 873 meters, which would be. Let me do the math.
He's doing the math, and he's not doing it in his head.
2,600 feet.
So, and would that be like long enough for some type of a man-made aircraft?
It's roughly half a mile, but that would be. So in a hostile environment like Antarctica, where the wind is always blowing the snow over the runway or whatever like that, that's about how long you would expect something, lights to say, hey, this is the direction you need to be going.
Just imagine, though, how much, like James said, there's no tracks there. Yeah, I know snow could have covered up tracks, but imagine how much work that would have been.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's man-made, imagine how much work and effort would go into that.
Definitely.
To make those for half a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's. I don't know. Like I said, if actually get on Google Earth myself to where I could look around to see if there was anything else there. Because where's the runway? I mean, I guess it could be covered in snow, but then we have to also question, okay, so if they're that high from the ground up, how far are they under the ground?
Right.
And how much snow is around them?
Well, and that's something that we've talked about on past shows and talk about in the future. I still firmly believe, I don't think it's active today. Do you still think the Nazi base is still active today that's there?
It'll be hard to say. And
the only reason I say it's not active today is because I think, first, if it was true, and I see possibilities where it could be true, I think that, those people would have long died off, or they would have gotten out into the world and blended in with society to get, their whatever their mission was. That's just my thinking.
Right. And that's the thing is, but with all of the talk that we've discussed about the Nazis going to Antarctica and then to the moon and then on into the cosmos,
right?
It's hard to say if there would. And on some level, I want to say that there still probably are someone there doing something in those bases.
Well,
now whether it's us, have taken over their abandoned bases or whatever, but I do believe that there is probably people still there doing whatever in those bases.
And you could be correct. Now, and what I said too about this, but when me and you were talking about the video, is that when you sent me this video, James, and I watched it, and I tried to do a little research on it, I could not find any news articles or any other videos or news stories explaining this in particular. There was a couple of stories from 2017 and 18, but they were totally different shape. I mean, it's like this one's brand new. It's like it was not on Google Earth a couple of years ago, but it is now. What's your take on that, James?
Well, the thing about Antarctica in general is, it's such a mysterious place. We're told that it's there, and we see it from, the NASA photos and everything like that. But, nobody plans a trip to Antarctica.
No.
We know what they tell us. And they tell us it's hard to get to, and you'll probably die if you try to get to there.
And then even if you did make it. There's so much
mystery that surrounds it. They could have anything. That America could have stuff there, the Russians, possibly the Nazis. The whole Nazi thing is you had people that were so die-hard into these beliefs that you think that just because Hitler died that they were just like, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
So throughout history, but of course, they would probably name themselves something different and whatever to avoid scrutiny because everybody knows the word Nazi. But an idea like that doesn't just die. There's still people that follow Saddam.
You're correct.
So anything is possible, and you have to think that the Nazi regime had tons of money. They had all these different weird experiments that they were always doing. They had so many more plans ahead, and for one guy to die, for them to just be like, jig's up. I don't see that happening. I think that they're probably still doing stuff all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
But my whole thing, like I said, with Antarctica is they just tell us there ain't nothing there.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't worry about that place.
Well,
but then you get these people that go on Google Earth and they find these things like this right here, and then there's somebody found what looks like a UFO sticking out the side of a mountain down there.
I saw that one before. That one's very, very, very interesting. I wish we had more photos and better photos of that one.
And so I don't, who knows? Because we're just told that, and it's not like anybody's going to be like, hey, let's plan a trip to Antarctica and see what's really there.
Yeah.
Well, we have some people that like the cold, but it ain't going to be me. I'll never know what's
No.
really
Cronkite would go. He would be eating snow. We wouldn't need a shovel. He'd just eat his way through for us to get wherever we were at.
Are you calling me fat? Is that a fat
I'm just
joke
saying
again?
you like snow, man.
I can't believe that you would do this.
I
This is
do
like
not
the
make
third or
fat
fourth show in
jokes.
the world, or in the row.
This
That's
is the
ridiculous.
number 1 show in the world. Well, James, thank you very much for sending us that and for letting us call you and taking time out of your day to talk to us. Is there anything you want to plug or anything before we hang up?
Well, me and the guys are actually working on it's more of a video podcast, so we're not trying to steal your thunder or nothing. But just to expand on some things, because when me and Timbo get together, we talk about. We're always sharing this stuff back and forth in Facebook and everything. And, I have a pretty good eye for seeing some things, and I'll point it out. He gives me his take, and so we thought, why don't we discuss this and let other people join in? So we do have a little video podcast that we are working on right now. It's called Into the Void. And we're hoping to have you guys as our very first guest.
Yeah,
so we're going to try to keep together on this, and we'll just have a really great first show.
Yeah. We will definitely be there, right, Cronkite?
Definitely.
So you just let us know. And like I said, if you come up with any more videos like this or come across anything, please email it to us. And thank you very much, James. That's James Smith. You have a good day, sir.
You too, sir.
All right. See you. And that was James Smith from The Edge Studios. That's The Edge, spelled TH, #3, The Edge Studios. You can find them at YouTube and Roku. Let's go back to some listener email and text. I'll start out. Angie from Kentucky says, hello, everyone at Here to Chew Bubblegum. I just wanted to say that I love the roundtable shows and ask what your take on Stanton Freeman and his apparent hate for Bob Lazar. Also, when can we expect another Truth is Out There series? We'll have that for you next week. Just what you were talking about in the last segment.
The law of attraction.
P.S. I laughed so hard at the Midweek Moment show and Stephen's essay. Email. Roswell.
Stanton what?
Stanton Friedman. That is the guy. I think he passed away maybe last summer. He was the guy with the beard that always looked like he had a stick stuck up his ass. He didn't really like Bob Lazar. Mm-hmm. He discredited Bob Lazar. Tried to discredit Bob Lazar. But at the same time, he believed and talked about what Bob Lazar was talking about. I always thought that Freeman was a little bit jealous of the notoriety that Bob Lazar got from sharing his story, and he did not. So that's just my opinion.
Definitely sounds like. Tara says, hey, Here to Chew Bubblegum, what's the first movie you're going to see when theaters open back up? This question is for everyone. The new Top Gun.
The new Ghostbusters.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Ned?
Depends on what's out.
Good one. Elliot, we hope you heard that. Be sure to answer that on your next week's Midweek Moment. Shane from Missouri says, love the roundtable shows and congratulations on the local radio gig. Ear candy lover and your biggest fan, Shane. Thanks, Shane.
Starman94 says, when is the next roundtable going to happen? I know that you said previously every 3 months or so. Is that still the plan? The last roundtable and uncovering the Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated really threw me. Any updates or callbacks? Well, no. We haven't had any updates or callbacks. We did call.
Yes.
And left another voicemail, and then I gave them my cell phone number, stupidly.
Well, you tried to. I stopped you. But I will say it did take me a few minutes to realize what you were doing. And then, because you only had like 2 numbers left, and I stopped you.
I'm so glad that you did, because I was just going to go for it.
To answer that question, we'll hopefully do another roundtable, maybe in May, if we get everything worked out. We know for sure it will be me, you, Ned, Elliot, And we'll have somebody else, you know. I don't know who, but we will have somebody else in Bunker Studios sometime in May for another roundtable. Loki from Planet X says, "Hey Goose, Cronkite, Ned, and Elliot, I'm curious as to what you guys think about COVID-19. Do you believe in COVID, or do you think it is exaggerated, quote, bullshit?" What's your opinion?
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I don't. I mean, I think there's something to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's.
What do you think about how it affects people differently?
I think that's strange.
I think that's very strange as well.
I think it's strange, almost like it was targeted for certain groups of people.
Ned's shaking his head. Ned don't believe it.
All right, so Starman94 said, oh, excuse me. I just read his. Rodney from is it my turn or your turn?
That's your turn.
Okay, Rodney from Texas says, "Hey, Goose, Cronkite, Ned, and Elliot. I love the roundtable shows. My question is, do you think Elon Musk is involved in any way with Ingersoll Lockwood?
Yes.
If so, do you have any evidence or proof?"
No.
No evidence or proof, just speculation at this point.
But I do think he's involved in it. And,
Well, he's the clone, so yeah.
Yeah, well, like I said, we'll do a Truth Is Out There series next week, and it will feature Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated. UFO Chaser says, "Hey, Goose and Cronkite, hell of a show the last few weeks. How are you guys going to top it, and where do you go from here?"
I have no idea.
I
mean, we're just winging it at this point.
yeah. I mean, he has, like you said, almost gave his cell phone number out.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it's just, we're not that professional, guys. Just
Speak for yourself. Yes, we are, sir. Yes, we are.
All right, not that Kevin Smith says, "Hey guys, Kevin Smith here. I'm from New Jersey, but I'm not the famous Kevin Smith. If you had to describe your show to someone, what would you say?"
It's similar to Art Bell.
Ear candy.
There you go. Ned, how would you describe the show to someone? What was the noise? The blurp.
That was Ned throwing up.
No, it wasn't. No, Ned said "awesome" for those of you that couldn't hear that over Cronkite's sound effects.
My acid reflux kicking in.
Let's see. Ed of the Dead says, I would choose a zombie apocalypse over an alien invasion any day. I'm highly skilled and trained in the art of zombie slaying. Also, Steven, the professional email writer, is an asshole. Bye for now. And
that's not very nice.
Well, that's what he said.
Yeah,
so,
that's not very nice.
No, that is not very nice. And I guess he's talking about during the roundtable. I said I'd rather have a alien invasion. Elliot said he'd rather have a zombie apocalypse.
Well, I mean, if it's both end of world scenarios, I guess zombies would be better.
Let's just have them both at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm a fat guy. I'm not going to live through the first 10 minutes of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you would.
I doubt it.
Just double tap.
Yeah. Zoltar from the Piers says,
Zoltar.
"Hey guys, here's my opinion on the whole Mars space missions. Unless we improve innovation rapidly over the next 10 years, we will never make it to Mars. It is a dream of mine to see the first ships launch manned mission to Mars. I think the way SpaceX is going, we're going to see that probably in the next 10 years.
I think we're going to see it in the next 10 years. My last email is from Shakes.
Shakes?
Yes, Shakes, Shakes. Let's hope Shakes is a female.
Oh, okay.
I've listened for a while, and I think that I know what ear candy is. Can you please explain or confirm my suspicions, Roswell?" So they're asking what ear candy is. Okay, ear candy is what some of our early listeners that messaged in said that we sounded like.
Yeah, because
it's not actually earwax that you eat.
Yeah, no.
It's just they're saying that they love our show so good it's ear candy.
Actually, what it came about was we have deep backwoods hillbilly accents, and they love that. They just crave it.
Yes, they do.
Shirley from Ohio says, "Hello, Goose and Cronkite. I wanted to share my opinion with you in regards to disclosure. 500 years from now, Earth will have colonized at least 25% of the galaxy. The aliens are here because they want to make sure that humans don't bring their violence into space. I feel in a way they are trying to show us a path to peace before we venture out into the galaxy." I can see that, and I may agree with you on that. However, what I will say is any civilization, I feel, again, I'm just going by what we have, what we're going through. I think every civilization is going to have that bit of violence at first.
Right.
Until they get to the point where They no longer need violence to get their points across, or everything is just...
Because they have a reputation of being violent that nobody would want to face them.
Exactly. I think.
We're on the same
yeah,
brain.
definitely.
That's scary.
Same brain.
Because, you know, you kind of had a down day, so that makes me feel like I'm stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Well, I mean, you said it.
Our question of the week. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
Since nobody helped me come up with it, this was mine. Our question of the week. With COVID-19 still around, are you going anywhere this summer? That's it. What'd you think about that?
I'm going to work.
You're going to work?
Mm-hmm.
What about anywhere else? Any trips? Trips, dips, ships, slips?
Unless we go to any conventions, I doubt it.
Again, our question of the week, with COVID-19 still around, are you going anywhere this summer? You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606-373-3396, or...
First of all, you can't just expect me to answer it and be the only one to answer.
Yes, I will try to go places this summer. Probably not a lot, but
Where are you going?
I will try to go. I don't know yet. I don't know.
Ned?
I'm going to try to go to the beach.
He's going to try to go to the beach.
Beach is good.
Right.
Beach is good. Right behind you. Or Tennessee's good. Or you can always email us. You can email Goose at heretochewbubblegum.com or Cronkite at heretochewbubblegum.com or Ned and Elliot at heretochewbubblegum at Yahoo. In the subject line, put attention, Ned or Elliot.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
It's almost as good as I do.
Well, yeah, you actually do better. Do you have anything to say before we close out this week's episode?
No.
Don't forget, coming up tonight in the Bunker Studios area, 10 p.m., Episode 1, the pilot, Here to Chew Bubblegum on 104.9 WXLR.
Now, is it just 104.9? Because I see also that they have 94.3.
3 WIFX.
Is it going to be on there as well?
It's just on 104.9 right now, as of now. Again, if you like the show, please let the staff at WXLR know that, hey, this show is great. I really like to keep those guys on. If you didn't like it, keep that to yourself. Don't call or tell anybody.
No, we're trying to make something happen over here.
Exactly. But we will post the WXLR show, for those of you that do not live in the areas, on our YouTube page on Tuesday. Now, this coming Tuesday is what, the 24th? Would it be the 24th? 23rd? 22nd? 23rd. It'll be the 23rd.
Okay.
We will post the WXLR 104.9 radio show on our YouTube page on this coming Tuesday, the 23rd.
Now, what I will say is that was our very first radio show.
Yes.
And I was nervous, so please be gentle.
You know, because, yes, definitely.
Because it's not the ear candy that I expected it to be.
Oh, really? You didn't like it?
No, I thought that I did. I thought I didn't do a very good job.
I thought you did a very good job. The only part I didn't like is that it kind of felt rushed, because we're used to in here just going on and on because this is our podcast, but we are timed. But I think the second episode will be better.
I think so, too.
And we're going to be recording that this week. Also, I want to thank Carlin for all the voiceover work and for allowing us to use the music of Flannery, CK, Uncle Bill, and ST3B. CK, Uncle Bill, and ST3B over at deadpit.com. T-Shirt Joe with FastCustomShirts.com. James, Stacy, Greg, and the rest of the gang over at The Edge Studios. That's The Edge, spelled TH, #3. That'll do it for this week. We'll see you next week. And until then, so long for now.
Have a good week.
Thanks for listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum. Tune in next time as we dive deeper into things the government doesn't want us to know.